Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connections for Life. I am Ted Pete.
Chad Kuba.
Joe Surratt. Nice seeing you guys again. Chad, I love
You
your
as well.
background.
You as well, sir.
Phenomenal.
Chad still,
Joe
still does not approve of your entrance.
What'd you guys do over the weekend?
What'd you do, Joe?
I coached soccer and painted for a long stretch on Saturday, and yesterday I recovered. So
Were you stuck like this yesterday?
no, my legs are killing me, man. Like up and down the ladder. I'm old, man. That's
What room do you paint, Joe?
The bedroom. You know how it's like.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah. It was a lot, but I'm done and I'm still alive and I can actually
That's good.
move today, so it's good stuff. Not that entertaining. Don't have that much to go on.
Ted had a more entertaining weekend though.
I did. I got to drive to Pittsburgh, PA, about 4 hours and 45 minutes from my house with a large group of teenage boys that play basketball for me in our club. And
I feel like there's a joke in there.
Listen, if you ever want to rip your hair out, drive 5 hours in a pickup truck with 4 smelly teenage. Oh, it's brutal. When he got that, I was like, I'm willing to fist fight every one of you at the moment. Get out of the truck, go play basketball. Get away from me.
I guess you had a good tournament, though.
How'd the tournament? How did it end up?
We did good, actually. So we started our own AAU club this year. This is we're a first-year club technically because we branched off of a different club, and we won our first 2 championships this weekend. So my son came home with 2 pieces of hardware and a couple of mates as well. We had a great time. It was good exposure. Our team played really, really well. It was a long drive home though. The hardware made it better, but that 5 hours, I got home at 1:30 this morning. I was a little whooped.
That's awesome, though. Yeah, Logan was home this weekend again. He won't be now. He probably won't be home until, he won't even be home Thanksgiving. I think he has 1 weekend off in early November, but he's still trying to get his driver's license and has to complete all those classes. So he finally got done with the hours of the classes he needed. But like I said, he probably won't be home. We'll see him other places like over Thanksgiving or in Notre Dame and things like that. But it was fun. It was good to have him home. It's always good to have him home, but he costs money. As usual. We did go to Topgolf. He wanted to go to Topgolf, so we went to Topgolf Saturday. But he just constantly costs money.
Jeez, you guys sound like you guys had an awesome weekend, and I was just stuck in my house painting.
It was so awesome. I couldn't even remember what I did until the second time.
That has nothing to do with how awesome it was. That's more your stage.
Yeah, you know Pittsburgh pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So we were staying in Cannonsburg, which is past Pittsburgh on one side, right?
Yep.
So one of the gyms we were at was an elementary school or a Christian academy or something like that, and it was a half an hour from like Cannonsburg.
Yeah.
Via back roads. So we left there, and my truck's GPS automatically loaded up the hotel we were staying at. Click, boom, start driving. I got 5 kids in the truck. The other coach, we're just talking away here. We keep going. We end up in downtown Pittsburgh. We're looking at the stadium. It's great. I'm like, oh, we're heading back this way, you know. And we pull in the GPS, like, you've arrived at your destination, Washington, Marriott, Fairfield. So we went 40 minutes in the wrong direction back to the different hotel, and it was the only break we had. Like we had like a 2.5 hour. We didn't have to like be at the tournament. And we wasted it driving. That's
what you get for blindly following your GPS,
and
man.
That's Pittsburgh, but that is Pittsburgh for you. I always I hate Pittsburgh until I get out of the car. Once I'm out of the car, it's cool. So either way, who do we now that we've wrapped that up, who's on this week?
This week we've got a cool guest. I'm meeting him for the first time in our interview. It is Mike Choi from Pond. For those of you who don't know, Pond is a full-service architecture and engineering planning construction firm.
I was blown away how many employees they had.
I was blown away
knew Mike.
At like everything in the interview. But Mike's their director of business development in their energy sector, and he's been in the industry about 21 years. You guys know him pretty well.
Yeah, we do.
That's how I got on the show. And I was more, again, as always. I feel like I say this, but I was just the fly on the wall going,
Yeah, Mikey's great. We've known Mike a long time. He's bounced around to a couple different organizations, but I think he's settled really nicely in with Pond. He seems to love it there. He had nothing but great things to say. So let's talk to him, huh?
About it. Without further ado, Mike Choi from Pond.
Hello and welcome to Connections for Life, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to talking with you guys.
Hey, Mikey, how are you, man? Good to see you.
Good, Joe.
I feel like it's been forever, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of different not passing you like in a trade show booth or a trade show booth or in a hallway or in some place that stand next to your table. It's,
I know. I really miss the interaction and going to these trade shows that, I'm not sure when that's going to happen again, but be good to see you guys.
Yeah,
No,
the crazy thing is that we get so used to seeing each other like 12 weeks a year, right? I mean, it's because we
usually
just
9 of
bounce
them in
around.
a row.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's bizarre to, go so long without seeing your peers and the people in the industry. So it is really just great to see you, man, and see that you're doing well and, everything's good.
Well, we think you're doing well, at least.
You look all right. I'm forming opinions based solely on how you look, just so you know. But
so
anyway,
Mike, we can kind of get started into the interview portion of the the afternoon. Why don't you give us a little bit of your background, just because I'd like to know it, and then a little bit about Pond, the company you work for.
Sure. So I've been in the industry for about 21 years. I started off doing corrosion work, corrosion engineering type stuff, then heavily got into the coating side of the business, even worked for a coating manufacturer at one point, and I've done everything from inspection to running blast and paint crews to writing specifications. Then got back into more of the cathodic protection side of the corrosion business, and just probably within the last 6-7 years been doing a lot more of the engineering design portion, pipelines, that sort of thing. And so now I work for Pond & Company. Really cool company. Happy to be at Pond. They're headquartered in Atlanta. And they do a lot of different things. So, everything from, I'm in the energy group there at Pond, which is just one portion of the business. They do architecture, they do transportation design engineering, industrial engineering. We have an environmental group. So they,
How many employees, Mike? How many?
Just under 600.
Wow.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Wow. That's pretty wild. I also
How
didn't know you worked for a coating manufacturer at one point. Who was it? Unless you don't want to say, because I don't know why. But
No. I worked for PPG for a little bit.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
Cool. I didn't know that.
How many people, I guess, are on just like your side of Pond? Like, how many employees on just the?
Sure. The energy group's got about probably a little over 100 people.
Okay.
And they're spread out across the U.S. a little bit. We've got about 20 offices. So, the energy folks, obviously we have an office in Houston. We can't call ourselves energy if we don't have an office in Houston, right?
Right. Could be a closet as long as you have something down there.
Address.
Yeah. And then, we've got folks scattered, across the East Coast, up and down, Southeast, Northeast, Midwest, stuff like that. So, but yeah, our group's got a little over 100. And, our business is really kind of split into commercial business, or what we call commercial, and DoD, or Department of Defense. I handle most of the the commercial business. So a lot of the DoD business that we have is worldwide. So we're traveling to Japan, Korea, Europe, Guam, doing all kinds of engineering work, corrosion type work. And that side of the business.
Like
Do they have any projects in like
Hawaii
Hawaii or the Caribbean coming up that they might need some help on?
We actually do have an office in Hawaii, and a lot of our pack room work is based out of there. So, you're going to have to get behind me in line to make a trip to that Hawaii. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think your skill set denotes a much better chance of you getting the position prior to me, though. I just want to talk for those of the people that don't understand what Pond does. Can you just kind of specifically talk about what your company does in the energy sector, and how you guys interface with your customers?
Sure. At Pond, I'm the director of business development for our energy group, and so for our commercial clients, especially in oil and gas, we kind of have two main groups that do work for the energy sector. So we've got our engineering design group. So they're basically doing engineering designs of pipelines, pipeline facilities like metering stations, regulator stations. On the liquid side of that business, they're doing terminal farm design. So those big tank terminals that you guys see on the side of the road, we'll do all of the engineering design for all the structures in that facility. And then the other side of the business that we have is our asset integrity group. And that's probably a little bit more of what you guys are familiar with. So that includes corrosion control, right? Cathodic protection stuff, We've got a coatings engineering group. They do inspection, failure analysis. We've got a pipeline survey group that travels around the country and does pipeline survey for our clients. And then we also have an integrity consulting group. So those are kind of the main areas. We've got a couple support functions like our environmental team, which is pretty awesome. They do a lot of our permitting. We've got some environmental scientists there that are really experts in different types of animals. So if we're doing a design in a right-of-way and there's an endangered species there, some of them are qualified to handle some of those species. Like in the Southeast, you'll find gopher tortoises. They're qualified to handle those.
I will never forget being in the Marcellus Shale question, or Marcellus Shale area, and them having to shut down and not be able to take down trees because of the bat migration and the bat.
Yeah.
And I was like,
a big thing.
Are we serious? Like, if you have eminent domain, you can put a highway in over my house, but I can't cut down the tree?
That's right.
But
yeah,
it's a huge deal. People don't understand. It's pretty wild.
These days, it's a huge deal, right? I mean, we were doing this one pipeline job and we had to stop because there was this freshwater crayfish species that were endangered, and they had to relocate them all and had to do a little bit of route relocation to get the pipeline. So
I bet they're delicious.
Yeah,
I bet those crayfish are delicious. Real quick, we didn't talk about it, Mike. When did Pond come about? Like when did your organization start?
Good question. So Pond started back in 1965.
Hey, same year we started.
Same as us.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That was totally coincidental, audience. That wasn't like a setup question. I had no idea.
Very coincidental, because I just found that out now. So yeah, 1965. The group that I'm part of, the energy group, the way we came about is we started off doing DoD work. So we were doing fuelant hydrant stations for bases all across the world. And then we translated that into terminal and pipeline design for oil and gas clients. So we've been doing that for 30 plus years. So we're certainly not new to the business.
Very cool.
One of the things that always got me, and I did a little work in the past with some engineering firms, but I want to know if you're kind of the same way, and I think you are. You're kind of the sales manager, or you're in charge of your business development and sales, but at the same time, you're also designing projects, which is really I think that's what you're doing, right? I mean, that's a very unique thing to do. Am I right?
This is why Chad doesn't work there.
Yeah, not really. What I'll tell you is, so we have a lot of seller doers at our company. So they're doing some of the selling, and then they're managing some of the projects. We have quite a few of those.
I guess that's what I was trying to say, sort of something of that sort.
Yeah, so I'm pure business development. I don't do any. I gave up the doing part some years ago. But every now and then, I always tell the guys, especially if it's somewhere like Hawaii or somewhere cool, that I'm up for the doing part of it.
Be careful what you ask. You're going to end up in like Antarctica next time.
Well, and you guys know, in the corrosion business, there are no nice job sites. No nice
right.
No, if you're there for corrosion, it's gross usually. That's why you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's funny. I just wanted to lead into, obviously we've been in some really tough times, right, Mike? Like we all know, it's no secret. We've all been behind our screens and kind of trying to work from virtual world. And I was just wondering, like, how it's been for you. How have you guys been able to promote your business and work through that while we're all, kind of on lockdown a little bit? Yeah,
good question, Joe. Obviously you guys have some of the same clients that we have. Especially on the utility side, and a lot of those clients aren't even back to the office yet. They're like us. They're sitting here at home, working from home. And like a lot of people, we're trying to increase our presence through social media, various different outlets like LinkedIn, like you guys are doing with this web series, which
Connections for Life.
Can you please share?
Yes, Connections for Life. I'm a big fan.
Can we get like a shameless plug? Yeah, right.
But we've got our own webinar series called Ingenuity, and so a lot of people are doing that. But we're trying to come up with unique topics that aren't just here's our capabilities and that kind of thing. So some of the more unique things that we've come out with recently. Or we did a topic on hurricane preparedness for terminal facilities, which is very relevant right now because we're in the midst of a busy hurricane season, right?
Yeah, we got one coming right now, right? Sally, I think.
That's right.
And then Teddy, I think, is behind it.
Yeah.
Really?
So
I believe so. I believe it's Teddy.
Yeah, look, it's blowing in this breeze right behind him.
I'm bringing it with me.
That was completely unscripted too. That was
Sorry,
crazy.
Mike.
No worries. And
They're not
you know,
sorry, Mike.
for the audience, we obviously know each other, so um,
I
yeah,
think it's funny
another-
that you. I think it's funny that you bring up business development because, like, that's my role, right? Like, I'm not technically a salesperson any longer, and it's so hard to do business development, at least during these times, because when what we do is being in front of people, and it's hard to cold call a utility when especially somebody's home or try to work through these projects. So I think I understand and completely appreciate like kind of where you're at. I mean, it's definitely challenging, and I think we've been just trying to, as you said, try to be creative with it as well. So as far as the web series that you have, I think that would be something that maybe we could put maybe in our comments or something for people to check out, to promote that a little bit for you guys as well. So if you wouldn't mind, maybe we could pass that along at the end and we could get that in there.
Absolutely, yeah, I appreciate that. That would be great. I mean, and just to mention one more topic that I think is pretty cool. Our VP of Oil and Gas, Brandon Bucks, he's doing a topic called Quality in the COVID-19 Era. So, and what that's geared towards is, how can our clients, pipeline operators, really make sure that the work that they're getting nowadays is still quality work. We're all kind of doing things differently. Our work process may be a little bit different. We're not interacting with our teams like we used to and having face-to-face meetings. So what are some of the things you can look out for? What are some things you can do nowadays to mitigate that and prevent that? Because obviously, from an engineering perspective, the dollars, when you look at projects, are all into the construction, right? Engineering is such a small portion of it. So you really, really have to get the engineering right up front so it causes you less headaches on the construction side. So that's an interesting topic. And so it's things like that. And even on the corrosion side, we've done a couple that are interesting that I think have really great value for clients and people in the oil and gas business.
When is that going to be coming out? Because I think that there'd be value for many people to be able to watch that. I think at this point, we're really trying to focus on the education and taking this time to learn more about our industry and what it's going to look like going forward. So again, if that comes out, we'd be happy to share that, on our pages as well and promote it as well. I think it's really something that would be beneficial for people that maybe just aren't engineers, but maybe give them a better understanding of what kind of, what people are facing during these times. So if you wouldn't mind, we'd love to do that too.
Yeah, we'll send you guys the information. I believe it's this week. So cool. Depending on, the publication of this, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it'll be available even if you can't attend the live version of it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think I don't know. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we'll get this out relatively soon. I know we do tape it. Most people don't know we tape kind of things in advance, and then we kind of go back and work through them. But I think we can probably do that in tandem with your guy. So
yeah, be great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. You got anything?
Teddy, do you have one? Yeah. Did you have another question?
I didn't have another question, but I was just really sitting back and listening and observing this. This is the first time I actually got to meet Mike. Chad and Joe know him really well, but I was more really interested in learning about Pond and everything on this interview. I was kind of an observer.
Well, so was I, actually. As long as I've known Mike, I don't know much about Pond. So it's actually it's kind of interesting all the times that we stand next to each other or do things, and I know what you do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I don't really know what you do. It's kind of crazy, and that's kind of what we wanted to do with the show, and why we asked you to come on. We don't necessarily run around in the same worlds together, but we certainly touch the same industry.
Yeah.
And to grow you is to grow myself, is to grow Upsco. So we appreciate it.
It's all about the connections.
Yeah.
That's literally, it's all about the connections. So
and happy to have made a new connection with you, Ted.
Absolutely, Mike.
You don't know him that well yet.
Okay, all right, mutant Joe. But seriously, Mike, we really, really appreciate you coming on the show. I know I personally enjoyed this immensely, just to sit back and hear you, share your experiences in the industry, to learn more about Pond and to learn more about just all the different connections that take place here. So I thank you for coming on the show tremendously.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks, Mike. Just, it's good to see you, buddy. Like, honestly, everything aside, and of course we want to produce content that makes sense and that people are interested in hearing, but just from our perspective, it's nice to be able to do this because we get to see our friends, and we don't get to see each other like we used to. So it's just from me, it's just really good to see your face and be able to talk to you, because we just haven't been able to do that.
Likewise, that was very excited for you guys to extend out the invitation. So I appreciate that. And it's not the same as a trade show, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, buddy.
It'll be a pleasure. So, hey, thanks for joining us, and
Thanks, buddy.
we'll talk soon.
Thanks.
You're ready.
Hey, thanks, Mike, for joining the show. We really appreciate you coming on there. I pressed record and caught these guys off guard.
Totally. I wasn't ready for it at all.
I was stretching and I had to go into a wave.
I almost said something and I saw the little red thing and I was like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Bro, Mike, great interview. What do you guys got?
Lots of fun to have Mike on. Just, it was pretty enlightening to me because I know we all kind of know what engineering firms do. But they really get into, I mean, seriously though, in our industry, there's even so many more little niche of that. We talk about our niches and everything. I mean, there's corrosion engineering that Pond owns that is just a tiny little niche of their energy division. And that's kind of what Mike runs. And that's the amazing part of it. I mean, they're out there building these huge buildings and highways and everything else, but there's also Mike who's, designing anode systems and things like that. So it's pretty cool. I just,
yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. I don't know if I still understand what engineers do.
Me
I
neither.
mean, but good for you guys. I think that's why we have houses and cars. So I appreciate it. But no, Mike, we've known Mike a long time. He's one of the guys that I miss, as far as trade shows and bouncing around and being able just that camaraderie. So it was good to have Mikey on. So Mike, thanks a lot for coming on. Thanks for telling us a little bit more about Pond and enlightening all of us. Hopefully you had fun. But onward and upward, boys. I think we got some other things to talk about, huh?
yeah, man.
Yeah, he's coming up the 6th and 7th of October. All virtual format. I'm really excited to.
What is that, Ted? It kind of like blipped out. I didn't hear you.
Oh, the Distribution Contractors Association is having a fall conference, but it's a virtual event this year.
Nice.
With COVID.
Well, that's kind of cool because I think we're going to have somebody that's a big important person on pretty soon from that, huh?
I think it's going to be next week's episode.
I think so. Stay tuned. Well, don't say anything yet.
Yes,
Secret.
I want to see guests. I want to see guesses in the comments of who we think we have coming on. That's a big important person from DCA.
That'll be 3 comments, mostly being us 3.
Mostly us talking to each other.
I might have to guess. I don't even really remember who we have on week to week. Chado, you got anything?
Yeah, man. We've been pumping out the marketing, or trying to, for the Upsco Expo, December 1st to the 3rd. The presenter list is growing and growing. The website's starting to really take some good shape. Joe's our scheduled chairman. He's put together he's essentially done the schedule, and the registration links we're hoping will be ready by no later than the end of this week. We're hoping for Wednesday, but that might be a little aggressive.
Yeah, I think it is aggressive. But I think we'll have the schedule out by Wednesday though, so at least everybody can see the tracks and see who's going to be presenting and all that good stuff. So obviously stay tuned for that. We have some cool things coming along there. Really excited. It's pretty fun. I didn't realize that we would be able to get this type of response. So it's nice to see, and I'm glad that we can help be a part of educating the industry. Right, that's kind of what we're going for.
Good point.
Absolutely. Hey, Chad, what episode is this for us?
This is 25.
25 episodes.
Yeah, it's almost half a year.
Wow.
I actually had to do the math in my head, and I almost argue with you. Just so you know,
it would be 20. It would be 26. It would be 26. Except the week we did the Let's Make a Deal, we didn't put an episode out, and it's just because that was it was enough of an undertaking.
Yeah. So just one last thing, guys, I wanted to bring up. We kind of talked about this. Thought it'd be a fun little thing to do. With Halloween coming up, we kind of wanted to honor the holiday. So we're going to have a little bit of a pumpkin carving. Wow, I'm really smart today. Pumpkin carving.
We just told his daughter he was a mathlete a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I can't. Clearly, the English is what I'm really struggling with. A pumpkin carving contest. So we're all going to spend like 5 minutes and just do the best we can to carve a pumpkin. We also are going to. What's that?
It'll probably be bad.
Oh, it's going to be horrific.
I want to put under out there for our viewers on who cuts themselves first out of this.
It'll definitely be me. My hands are a disaster. You guys know that. I will definitely be bleeding within 30 seconds of taking the knife out. So guarantee that. Guarantee seeing that. We'll try to keep the blood and gore down, even though it is Halloween. It just became night here, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't talk about Halloween. It got spooky. But
you need to rearrange your office so that you have the window.
I think I need to sit outside.
Like, remember when I did the Ted?
I have 3 windows and a lamp on right now. Anyways, back to the pumpkin carving thing. So we're going to actually hold a contest for viewers. We'll let you know when that's going to be. It'll probably be like a week or two before for the holidays. We're going to give away like a $50 gift card for who we deem is the best. You just have to post it. We'll tell you more about it, but start thinking about creative ideas. We're going to give you more than 5 minutes than we're going to give ourselves. So we hopefully have you guys participate and be a part of it. We're just trying to do something neat and cool. So
Awesome.
anything else, boys?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I got one other thing. Kuvo got a haircut. We're going to talk about that. Look at that. Yeah, there he is.
You can see you can see the before, the middle, and the after. In the or actually not the before. It's like this, then it's long, then it's short again on this one. Whatever.
Welcome back, buddy. I forgot who you were for a little while. I thought you were some.
Me too.
That was part of your Halloween costume or something. Yeah. Looking like a 70s hockey star over there.
Thanks.
All right, Slapshot. Is that it, guys? We have anything more?
Hey, Monday Night Football tonight. Chiefs, Ravens. It's a big one.
Football's still going on?
Yeah, I don't even watch it.
All right. Fine.
The only reason we talk about it is because you're a Dallas fan who, by the way, got starched yesterday.
We are terrible. I picked them to win the Super Bowl because I thought we might actually have some like McCarthy came with a
Oh, we remember. I think it's on film. You do betting
I do think it's on film as well. I'm pretty sure there was a bet involved. But anyways, we should move on and let these poor people get along with their day.
No one's still watching anymore.
No, absolutely not. They hung up when Mike ended.
All right, guys. Hey, till the next episode, thank you so much for joining us here at Connections for Life.
See you
Thanks, guys.